What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Unapologetically Black, Never Broken, Always Empowered. I am Britt, joined by my co-hosts, Rich, Chae, and Brittany. How are y'all?
Good. How are you?
What up?
It's always a good day when it's like three Brittany's in the room. You know what I'm saying? It's multiple of us in the room. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Look at Rich and his luxury living.
I know.
I went to the vacation spot today, and so I'm gonna chill out here.
Oh yeah,
just gonna leave me with the kids. Cool, got it.
Yep.
That's hilarious. Well, how have y'all been? How's your week been? I guess I'll start with Chae. Because she's been the one that hasn't been on the most recently.
She was the one that went to go see B. I don't like it.
And I'm going again in New Orleans. That's actually how I've been doing. I just got a bonus at work. You know what I'm saying? Boss called me last week and was like, yeah, we negotiated you a bonus. I said, thank you. Thank you very much. And so that is I thought he was calling to fire me. But I got a bonus. So
better.
Life has been busy. Obviously school, work, keeping it real, relationships, all of the stuff. But overall, I'm good.
That's what's up.
My passing to Britt.
Yeah.
The other Brittany, not HS. The one over there.
I'm in recovery. I have no clue what happened yesterday, but I don't remember half of it. So that's just a day.
Good thing,
man. I went and hung with our cousin Brittany and some more family, and and I mean it was so bad. We had bottles on top of bottles, just passing them around. So now, my body is saying, hey, you do know you above 30, right?
Facts, dog. I hate that reminder. Like, I don't need that.
I don't have to have it.
No, I feel that. All right, Popcorn, who you calling on? Who's next, Britt? Who do you want to hear from?
I mean, it's only that bald-headed man up there.
And me. Damn.
Rude.
It's not rude.
I'm good. Adjusting to work and just living. That's typically how my life goes. Work, living.
No, I feel that.
There's nothing new, so to speak.
Yeah.
What about you?
Me, same. Work. Izzy's birthday is on Friday, so her 10th birthday is Friday, which is exciting. Our anniversary is coming up in September, and then Snuggles' birthday, and then it feels like it's the holidays all over again. So I'm like gearing up for that, getting ready for all of those things. Ready for school to start because, like I said, it doesn't start here. It's 2 more weeks. We have 2 more weeks here.
I gotta send you that bottle. I gotta send it.
She said, fuck them kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To school.
I need them to go. 2 more weeks.
She got 2 things.
I don't care who got to watch out, but it ain't me. School starts today. They ain't got to go somewhere else.
Oh, Izzy rode the bus to school and home for the first time.
Congratulations.
Aww.
Yeah, got it.
They are on to the person who damn near had a heart attack waiting on her to get off the bus.
I'm sure you did. Over here, like, is that the bus coming? I think
her thing on her phone wasn't moving, so I went by the school and came back.
I want you to know.
Followed the bus to my house.
This is the layout. Our apartment's here. There's a bridge that goes across the street. There's Izzy's school. It is a 6-minute walk.
The bus is unnecessary, is what you're saying.
They are because the bridge is such a busy passway.
Mm-hmm.
That they are, but it's not. Brittany went to the school and made it back before the bus and was like, I don't know. I'm like,
it looked like the bus was going nowhere. It's basically what he's saying.
Yeah,
like,
I
was like,
I could have went, picked her up, and came back, and that's
That's hilarious. You know what? Let me just get her off the bus. Y'all ain't moving fast enough.
Just get my baby.
We got shit to do today. Oh, that's adorable. Yeah, I'm ready for it. So we'll see. We'll see how the next couple weeks unfold. I actually was very late in registering Snuggles for school, so I'm still waiting to hear back. He did
They'll
get
tell you this day before.
Yeah, right. He got accepted back into the school he was in before, but you know, that was a mission trying to get him there every single day. And so it's like I'd rather him be in a closer school, but that's neither here nor there. Today's episode is about cheating. Yeah. I think we kind of want to talk a little bit about like the different types of cheating and, you know, our experiences with it. So I guess I'll kick it off with the question of who all here in this room has cheated before or has been cheated on? Okay.
Are we answering the
Okay,
first
one
one
hand for
or the second one? Oh,
I'll raise a hand for each.
I lift my legs up too.
I hate you.
I got.
I'm about to say, yeah, it's only 2 questions. How you gonna do an extra one?
She got extra cheated on. She extra cheated.
I want to know what
I
want to know what this third cheat is, though.
Right, with the legs.
I'm just saying. You just be better off, like, you know what I'm saying. You could probably list. It's a shorter list to name the amount of relationships that I didn't cheat. Is what I'm getting at.
Ditto.
That's a yeah, but we knew that from you, Brittany. We didn't know that about Chae. We knew that about you.
What they say, birds of a feather, or something like that.
Oh, you know, I've yet to see that be proven wrong. Is what I'm gonna say.
They be flocking.
They be flocking.
I mean, I don't know. I agree and disagree there. I agree and disagree with it, though.
You agree and disagree with cheating?
I agree. No, with feathers of a
bird. I was like, do you want to elaborate? I'm
comfortable here because, you know, we've been best friends for a very long time and we were on all types of shenanigans together back in the day. So, yeah, that's all.
I mean, I've been the friend that was doing the cheating on my partner, but then I've also been the one that was like, hey, I'm not going to cheat on my partner, but I watch you do it.
I mean, I feel that. I'll be the alibi.
You know, I've done like international cheating. And when I say that, like my wife
goes in different areas.
Just one up.
Can I tell it or you gonna tell it?
No, because it's my story.
Okay.
So me and my boy, we were in the military. We flew from Japan to Virginia. Things happened in Virginia, and on our way back, we ditched like pieces of our cell phone in like each different airport, all across, to ensure that nothing ever got back when we got back to Japan.
Next level,
your cell phone.
So we had burned the cell phone. We took the battery, dropped the battery in Chicago, took the SIM, dropped the SIM card in Seattle, broke the phone in half, dropped one piece in like Iwakuni, and then dropped the other one.
So basically, y'all had a cheating pact because that's what that sounds like.
That's a lot.
It was pretty easy.
Worse than I was asleep or my phone died.
We guaranteed that whatever we did in Virginia never made it.
I told a girl I got locked up once. Regular lies.
But why go through throwing shit away in different countries?
Yeah, you could have just thrown it away in one country.
No, because what if somebody found the phone altogether? You know,
they don't know who the fuck you are.
We don't.
They
know.
weren't taking no chances.
I have look, and Brittany can tell you, we went places where we thought no one knew us at all. And before you know it, 4 niggas that we didn't even seen us.
And phones are blowing up. Our phones will be blowing up.
Left and right. We an hour and a half away. We like, oh, ain't nobody gonna be out here.
But y'all acting like y'all committing espionage or something. Like international spies.
In the military, it is.
We had to.
In the military, you go to jail for shit like that.
Yeah, you still go to jail for it. But I'm just saying, like, god damn.
That's hilarious. Look, I know so, and I've said this on many times on the podcast as a whole. I have cheated multiple times in other relationships. Being Jamal is the only person that Jamal, like my first boyfriend ever when I was like 16, are like the only two people I have not cheated on. I feel like, well, physically, let's start there, that I have not cheated on physically, because if you were to ask my husband, and we can elaborate on this, a little further in, but if you were to ask him, he would say I have cheated. If you ask me, I do not quantify what I did as cheating.
So let's start here. What is cheating?
See, I think this is why I changed my name right here, because I've been waiting for this question. I think that trying to paint a small stroke over something that's so broad or something so varied, depending on who you ask, is difficult. I think that cheating, just by definition of what a relationship is what is established, is what's established between two people. Now, y'all two can have a discrepancy, which clearly you do. But then it gets, I think, when those types of discrepancies, and just because I hope I'm not overstepping, but just because I know a little bit, it becomes more about like it becomes more about the timeline of things, or like the small fine details, or like, am I holding on to some pain or some hurt somewhere that isn't necessarily that thing, but because I feel violated in some type of way, I'm classified as this.
Yeah, I do. So I would say for me, so my personal definition, where I would quantify disrespectful behavior, like the line between like being disrespectful and cheating, to me is intent. So whatever you're doing, if your intent is to take it any further beyond, like, so I think flirting is natural, and at least for me, not for everybody, but like flirting is kind of normal, but it doesn't go any further than that, and you have no intention of it going any further than that. But when your conversations are like, hey, when is your spouse not home, or when, you know what I mean, when it starts becoming like we're planning for the future or we're talking about something, that's when it's cheating. Whether you get to that physical point or not, that's where I draw the line of, okay, I'm uncomfortable with this relationship and you're cheating on me.
Okay. I've always looked. Oh, go ahead, Mom. Go ahead.
Mine is basically anything that you have to hide. And I mean, that can be as simple as just the relationship with itself, and it's a friendship type thing. My thing is, if you can't be open with your spouse about whatever the fuck you got going on, I'm not saying you have to give every little detail, but if you can't even as much as acknowledge, hey, look, I'm cool with this person over here, we not doing nothing, you can't disclose anything, then you cheating, to me. And some people don't agree with that, but that's just me. Because I feel like in a relationship, I shouldn't have to hide anything. I shouldn't have to, have secrets. There's already secrets that we have to keep. But I feel like when it comes to other people, you shouldn't. There should never be a time that I walk up and somebody like, who is she?
Facts.
So I've always looked at it as far as having access to someone physically. That's what I've always deemed as cheating, right? Simply because, like Brittany said, for me, flirting is, I guess, natural or just normal for me. However, if you don't give I don't give people access to my body. I think that's the ultimate, because for a lot of people, that's the ultimate goal, right? Can I sleep with this person? And as long as I deny you that, then for me, I'm not necessarily, I believe inherently, unless you cheat on me physically, like, I really don't care about the conversation that you have with this guy over here, in a sense of like, yeah, it's my friend, we're cool, we're talking. Like, but if you send him naked pictures, like, okay, well, that's different. He has access to your body. If you sleep with him, he has access to your body. A lot of men generally tend to get over shit, as long as they don't have access to your body. Like, that's why most men act, well, what did you sleep with him? If she say no, that nigga cool. He like, oh, all right. But the moment you like, well, yeah, I did, and now shit's going sideways. So I've always looked at it as someone having access to your body. Now I understand other people's opinions, and I within me and my own spouse, we've come to an understanding about what it may be. But that's just my personal opinion on it.
Yeah. And I agree. Like I also have come to an understanding and respect, other people's definitions. And specifically with Jamal, we've had many conversations where I'm like, okay, I see where you're coming from. But yeah. Given who I was prior to and knowing what I've done in the past.
Mm-hmm.
I think the interesting thing about cheating, which is why I always say, is like whatever you define it as between two people, like specifically two people. So say me and Brittany was together, me and either other Brittany. So me and Rich was together. I think that the definition would shift according to how we interplay with each other, because having like a substep, sometimes, not all the time, sometimes having like a hard and fast rule for what is or isn't is not acknowledging the partner that you're with. Right. So how all three of us talked about, well, just y'all two, but I'm a natural flirt and I intend to flirt. I like it. I enjoy it. I find nothing wrong with it. But I think it is some aspect of what you say. It is some aspect of hiding. It is some aspect of access, but it's not just physical access, because emotional cheating is a fucking thing. It's more of an epidemic than I'm not disregarding your definition, Rich. I'm also adding to it in the sense of like, for a lot of people, emotional cheating sometimes in certain cases, depending on the person, is worse than actually physically cheating.
I'd rather you have sex. I'd rather you have sex with the person and have nothing emotional to them than to cheat on me emotionally. Because at the end of the day, he might say, you have access to the body, da 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 da. But I'm not looking at just your body. I want your soul. Mm-hmm. I want your heart. I want all those things, your mind. My thing is, when I connected and decided this is who I'm gonna be with, this is who I'm gonna marry, I can connect with anybody sexually. I can be with anybody sexually. Just like y'all say with flirting. Me, I can flirt with you all day. But the moment that I open my heart to you, the moment I give you my mind, it's already hard for me to do that with people anyway. So the moment I'm able to do that to you, then you're mine. And I have now fucked you in a way. I've actually gotten butt naked with you just doing that. Then actually laying down with you naked.
And this goes into the intimacy episode we're gonna have too, because that's usually what you're talking about.
Because I'm when I say I'm like the legit opposite, that's just, I'm sorry, that's just me. Like,
what? But it's so interesting that the man in this conversation is the one that feels this way.
If you tell a guy all day long, hey, yeah, I like you, we connect, we vibe, we're this, we're that, but you tell him you'll never have access to me, ever, physically. To me, I don't have you then. Like, I don't, to be frank, I don't give a fuck about your mind. Like, what the fuck? We're trying to connect physically. Staring at you all day ain't gonna do shit for me. Talking to you all day don't really do nothing if I never have access to you. Now, if you're saying, hey, first we connect emotionally, then you will have access to me, that's different.
No, that's like an entire affair. Like,
that's
at this point now, this is going on for way too long.
Okay, are you saying that an affair is completely different from cheating?
To me, an affair is an elongated cheating. Like cheating, you can meet somebody, have a one night stand, you cheated. I think an affair is
somebody for months, but of an affair.
An affair is like you have a whole nother relationship.
Yeah.
When you telling them, when you are taking words that you're supposed to be giving your spouse, like I love you, I miss you, I'm comfortable, I'm this, I'm that, all of that type of shit, that's cheating to me, because now you have entered a realm of you don't just want to, it's going to, if you do get physical with the person, it's going to be a deeper connection than just a one night stand where we say, hey, look, we just in this bed, we going to do what we do, and we going to get up and put our clothes on. No, you going to cuddle afterwards.
Mm-hmm. There's aftercare.
That's the violation right there.
And that's a violation. So to me, I'd rather you say, hey, look, I met a bitch at the club, me and her went home, we went to her house, I fucked her, never seen her again.
I don't even know her name, bro.
Yeah, but the fact that you know this girl name, you telling her all of this stuff, you letting her into your life, you building something, and eventually you're going to lay down, or at least you thought about it.
And I think that
think about it, you might as well go ahead and do
easier
it. Because now when you land with your spouse, you're not even thinking about your spouse.
Or you
fucking
that person day with your spouse. You know what I mean? Y'all get into an argument. The first thing you ready to do is
go handle business,
right?
But so and so I guess to add to what Brittany's saying to you, Rich, is that is like one thing my Yemi said to me the other day, because we working on non-monogamy or whatever, is she was like, you'll do stupid shit for a woman you like. You will like you talk about how catching feelings is not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal till she start fucking up your household because she in love with another nigga.
Yeah, but then I think that's when you go into the realms what Brittany was saying, more of an affair type of, well, I don't even want to be with you. So like for me, cheating is more of the one night stand of the, all right, I mean, yeah, we're here, but like I'm not actually gonna leave him. I'm I just messing over around.
That's not suggesting I gotta leave you to be cheating on you.
If you fuck up a whole household, you might as well.
It only takes one conversation, one bad move to fuck up a household. That's its own off of GP. It don't take much. It don't take much.
It don't take much.
Y'all know that DVSN song, that If I Get Caught Cheating song? That's what that reminds me of. Where it's like, if I get caught cheating, that don't mean I don't love you.
Yeah.
Like, you can still be emotionally tied to your partner and be physically tempted, because we are humans. Now, it's a matter of how much you respect your partner to like not even put yourself in these situations type of, you know what I mean? Like that's where the line is drawn between I fucked up and I cheated, or I'm entertaining this either long term or long enough to get to where I'm trying to get. So that I agree with, the addition of emotional cheating as far as being cheating as well. So like when I said my definition, I didn't specifically mention that, but intent of any kind to not be monogamous, essentially.
Well, what one calls faithful, what one would say is faithful or loyal.
Yeah.
And whatever that looks like. I can't say monogamous because I'm not. Mm-hmm. But my partners know that coming into a thing, and that's not to say I can't violate that agreement or that trust or that whatever. That's to say we got a bunch of protocols that's in place, and if I violate any of them, I'm in jeopardy of doing that thing.
Mm-hmm. So for all of us, we take cheating as just a sexual thing, or are we also looking at the ones that it's okay to have an open relationship? So what exactly would be what would actually be they cheating?
But that's what I'm saying. So to be descriptive is like you cannot classify if you are monogamous, you would say anything out of being with one person is cheating. But that's not with open relationship, open relating, non-ethical, non-monogamy, polyamory. That's not how we classify.
That's the same definition, yeah.
Yeah. So I participate in hierarchical non-monogamy, which means I have a primary partner and then everybody after that is subsequent in some way. So when I have to talk to her, when I'm going out on a date or whatever with somebody, I have to go have a conversation like, hey, or when I met somebody, hey, I met somebody. This is how I'm feeling. It's a lot of communication. It's a lot of being fucking honest. It's a lot of uncomfortability. But if I decide today that I'm gonna go over a chick house that I'm talking to, and I didn't have a discussion with her, or I decide that I'm gonna have sex with her, or I'm gonna decide I'm gonna do whatever, and there's no discussion beforehand, I've now violated the tenets of my relationship. So people, that's why I said it's cheating. Period. I feel like it's a spectrum, right? So that's not to it's not to dismiss what you said, Rich, like how you feel about it. I just think we talking about physical cheating, one night stands. We talking about you going back for seconds. Sometimes you go back for thirds. Sometimes it becomes a
whole side situation.
Yeah, because it just becomes a side situation. Sometimes it becomes a love affair that you got going on for a year plus. You know what I'm saying? Like you got a whole nother family on your family. You know, because that's a thing. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a spectrum, and it depends on where you fall. But I think in a general sense, it's just a violation of whatever you and your person said what this relationship is, or how we gonna navigate this relationship.
Like last week, we talked about unconditional love. And Brittany had said, no, my love comes with conditions. It's violating those conditions.
I definitely believe there's no such thing as unconditional love.
I think that love is there's love that's unconditional. I think that don't mean I'm gonna stay. Those are two and people rarely separate them. I still love a lot of my exes. I ain't with them hoes, they exes.
Right.
But that came with a condition. They did something that you didn't.
No, the relationship came with a condition.
The relationship comes with
the relationship.
Love did.
But I believe that there's no unconditional love because, like I said, it's some things that I'm just not willing to stand behind you on. It's some things that I'm just gonna be like, you know what, I can't love you through this one.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I think what I'm denotating for and this is going off on a tangent, is that for me there's a separation of what those things look like. I don't have to stay with you to love you. I don't have to like you to love you. I don't have to deal with your bullshit to love you. If my brother go out and he rape a woman right now, I still love that nigga, but I am disgusted and I want nothing to do with him. That my love for him is unconditional. I have a relationship with him that I can't change. I literally can't change it. But that don't mean I'm gonna be dealing with him at all.
I can say that.
So how do you think people should, or how have you guys dealt with the road? We'll deal with the first one on dealing with someone that's cheated on you and the road to recovery from that, and then the road of you cheating on someone and having to deal with the repercussions of that.
I actually don't care about cheating that much. By being cheated on.
So your spouse now cheats on you right now.
Yes.
To change the dynamics of your relationship with them.
What it was I told her that she was interested in doing this thing before she would acknowledge it, and then she moved to do something. She moved to do it and be planning that thing. I actually had more of a problem with the way it came out. Like the girl called my phone. Don't no. No. Don't bring it home, Stevie. Don't do that. Don't talking crazy too. Talking crazy to me. I'm on the phone like, bitch, what's happening? What's going on? What's the tea? You know what I'm saying? I actually didn't. I think that I am a person that just believes we all flawed and we all trying to figure it out, and we all attracted to people, no matter how much we say we not. Yeah, you can have self-control if you choose to have a monogamous relationship or not, but sometimes that shit is going to falter and it's going to waver and it's not going to look good with the blowback. And that's just the reality of it. I would rather us deal with that than you tell me, I don't do all that, and then you end up fucking up. Because I'm gonna hold you to the fire.
Hold you accountable for what you just said. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, go ahead, Britt.
Oh, no.
Okay. For me, me cheating on somebody, I've always been the type. I would tell people I was a real nigga in these streets.
She's a Gemini.
I would tell, hey, we together when we together, we not when we not. And go on from there, because that way we can I don't feel bad on cheating on you, That it's my door, and I'm trying to ignore it.
I think we all look around like
it's our child.
It's our child, and she might want to. Oh, okay, there it is. Daddy got her. But for a minute, I was, with getting cheated on. I was like, you know what? As long as you keep that shit over there, don't let me find out. Don't like hide that shit to the best of your ability. Don't have nobody calling the phone. Keep that shit over there. If I don't know about it, I can't fuss about it. The moment it drops in my hands, boom, goes the dynamite. Now, if you take that shit and you run with it, that's on you. Because I told you, keep that shit over there.
Yeah.
And you just look wild. You look wild as fuck when you don't, when somebody else put your shit out there on the front street.
Or you put your own shit out there. Like, be discreet. Yeah. Because I'm going to tell you, back in my days, you wasn't going to find out. You was not going to find out. There was no way, because you're not. But do not let me find out. Keep the shit over there. Hide it. Point blank simple. If I don't know, I can't yell at you. Don't change your ways. Don't change how you treat me. Don't make it obvious. Keep it 100 over here and do whatever you're going to do over there. Just don't let me find out.
Yeah. So for me, when I really, really, really think about it, I can only think of one circumstance in which I did get cheated on. And I just cheated back. That was really my response. That was my response. I think in the moment I was hurt, because it always hurts to and especially when you come across the information, or you have a feeling and then it's confirmed. So of course I was hurt, but I didn't leave that relationship. And Chae, you know who I'm talking about too. I did not leave that relationship because when I was ready to leave the relationship, he broke his leg, and he couldn't do shit for himself. So I was like, I guess I'll stay. But then the whole time I was doing me. I think in a lot of cases, because I'm so non-confrontational in general, I would emotionally check out of relationships well before they ended, and I would
that's how women do anyway. That's what they say. We be out of a relationship months before that.
Right. No. And then when it's over, it just feels like, okay, I'm not upset. I'm not crying.
We run them into the ground. We run our relationship into the ground to where nothing else can be said, nothing else can be done. We run it. We stay too long for that reason.
Yeah.
We run it into the ground, and then by the time we say, you know what, we really have no issues doing it.
Yeah. And and because I've already checked out, I really don't care about how you felt when you found out, because most of the time they found out at some point. And I didn't care. I will say though, as far as with Jamal, that's what made me when we had our issue. So let me just jump into the story. So I had a friend and a guy. Let me start with this. I have a much less conservative view on sex and all of that than Jamal does. So I do have sex with my friends, or I have had sex with some of my male friends or whatever it is. And for him, once it's a friendship, and he doesn't cross that line. Not the case for me. And so I had a male friend who we had hooked up a couple times. We were never in a relationship in the past before Jamal and I were together. He had popped up in the beginning of a relationship. I told him about him. He was like, yeah, I don't feel like something might happen. I reassured him, no, it's cool. It's over, whatever. I don't know how long between that conversation and skip ahead months. I'm super pregnant. He texted me one night and was like, hey, I had a dream about you. And as opposed to me not responding, I was like, what was it about? I entertained the conversation. He tells me about the dream. And then our conversation kind of was we used to have good times, but that's dead. Like, it's never going to happen again. End of conversation. Eventually, months later, he sees those texts, and he said, you're cheating on me. For me, I was like, I entertained an inappropriate conversation, but because it wasn't like, hey, that was a lot of fun, let's do that again next week, or whatever the case may be, I did not view it the same. But seeing the way that hurt him and like the jeopardy it put my family in is what made me feel like I would never fucking do that ever again, or anything that would hurt him in that way.
In that way.
Yeah. So that was probably the first time I've seen what my actions do to someone I care about, and I cared enough to like change my ways, or to even like hear out what you're saying. But yeah,
I think that, so the last time I cheated, which was in this current relationship, was in the beginning actually, but I came out and I told her because I had actually, me cheating historically was something that it was just from a place, it was out of a place of immaturity, right? Like I needed a lot of attention, and I went bitches, you know what I'm saying? I was out here trying to catch them all like they fucking Pokemon, all the bad. Or I thought that as a masculine person, like that's what you do. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's what I grew up around. All the niggas, I grew up sitting in ear hustling with my mother, talking about how my father was cheating. You know what I'm saying? And her other big father was cheating and this and that. So I'm out here like, this is what you do. I'm the masculine person in a relationship. I'm supposed to have women. I'm supposed to do this. I'm supposed to do that. And I had been non-monogamous before her. So I actually moved into a place of being honest about my bullshit. And which is not bullshit anymore, because it's just acknowledging the fact that, hey, I love you, but I also am not trying to be out here just with one person. That is just not what I'm trying to do. So I felt bad about that because I had been working to be more honest and thoughtful about how I was moving. So I told her. I think I got some points for that, but it's still, I'm gonna say, for lack of a better word, like really, 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 really fucked her up.
So I actually want to touch on what you just said, Chae. Growing up, at least in the area which I grew up in, that is actually taught to little boys.
Mm-hmm.
Get as many girls as you can.
Mm-hmm.
Those little boys then grow up to men that do exactly what they were taught, and not by men, but by their mothers, by their aunts, by women taught their little boys, oh, you can he a player.
Right, don't settle down. He's a little playboy.
What effect do you think that has on the actual stigma of grown men cheating? Do you think that, like, nah, you should know better by now, nigga, like, let that shit go? Or do you think it's a psychological thing that they get taught and they keep growing up?
I think it's twofold. I think it's in part of what I'm gonna say society, for lack of a better, because it's men and women that's pushing those narratives in different ways, and it's hard to hear from women and be like, oh, this is what y'all want, and then grow up and be like, this is not what y'all want. So that's one aspect of it, and another aspect is, this goes into the intimacy conversation again. Y'all do not experience enough emotional intimacy, enough emotional vulnerability amongst outside of your own sexual escapades. I'm gonna say outside of women. So and then a lot, for the lack of women also caring about y'all feelings, and I've been in that place too. You seek intimacy through sex. You seek connection through sex. You seek, because a lot of the stuff you said about how you relate to cheating actually kind of like mirrors this point.
Right, because what I was gonna, after y'all got done, what I was gonna bring up is emotional cheating is new to me, right? And when I say new to me, I mean fairly recent in my adult life. Like, emotional cheating didn't exist when I was a fucking teenager. Like, the fuck, bitch, move. And so and actually it's something that I just learned here that I started to learn about here in my marriage now. So it's new to me, emotional cheating. I understand my wife's viewpoint, and I fully agree with her in what she says. But it was just something that I had never witnessed before, which is why I sit here and I say, like, look, that I'm not a very emotional person to begin with. Outside of anger, which is why I go to therapy, because the only emotion that I really attach myself with is angriness. But as far as like being like hurt or disappointed or like upset, like it does not sway me.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. Anger, right? Anger is a secondary emotion. Actually, what's underneath anger is usually hurt, disappointment, sadness, those types of things. I used to be just like that. I used to only react out of anger, and I had to realize that no, actually my feelings hurt, and I've gotten used to responding in this way because it's more sort of bravado, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's why for me it's like I understand emotional cheating, but when it wasn't until I did it that I was like, oh, okay, this is what you mean. Okay, this is how it affects you. Okay.
Oh, so you're saying like you didn't have, from what I'm hearing now, it sounds like you're saying you didn't have a vantage point for how emotional cheating is enacted out, or like what it looks like.
So like I was like, Brittany, if you ask me, I've not cheated. But if you ask my wife, she's gonna say, yes, this is what you did, this is how you did it. And I will sit back and I'm like, oh, okay. So yes. And so now when people, when we have conversations like this, they say, Rich, have you ever cheated? Well, I would say, well, yes. I'm not going to even say, well, if you ask my wife, she's going to say, I'm just going to say yes, because according to the person that I'm dealing with, I broke the barriers and the contract in which we agreed upon our relationship was going to be settled. So, ergo, but again, me dealing with it because I still fight my initial instinct of, when nothing physical occurred, I don't understand what the fuck why are we having all these fucking issues? But then as I listen and as we talk and as we go through things, I start to understand, okay, this is why you think that way. This is why you angry like this. Okay, this is why this happens.
Man, getting your emotional needs met, period, is a big deal. From one person is a big deal. For one, meeting your own emotional needs is a big deal. Then having somebody else be able to meet them is a big deal. Mm-hmm. And then having another person. So this is a perspective of the person that's getting cheated on, because I've gotten cheated on and I've listened to a lot of people complain. And this is the basis of what it is. You have just shown me that I am not enough for you. I am not enough to get whatever need met, right? We can pass up sex, we can go with sex because niggas be horny, right? But it's wait, she makes you laugh in a way that I don't make you laugh. You don't laugh like that with me. Mm-hmm. And you don't. Wow, you over here telling her your deepest, darkest secrets. You don't talk to me like that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm the person you say you chose. So
but that's why I would rather you go out and sleep with somebody, not know that bitch name, because at the end of the day, you like, yeah, I slept with her. I ain't bring nothing home.
Oh, it's red dress.
But I don't even know who she is. But you can basically tell me this bitch favorite color. Why you know her favorite?
Why you know that?
Why you know that? Why do you know?
I've never connected.
Why do you know what makes her do this? But when it comes to me,
I still know your favorite
be
colors.
confused.
I know all of this.
Yeah, but she giving an example, man.
I know. I'm just saying. But like, what I was saying is, I've never connected or cared about a lot of those things. I never gave a fuck about what your favorite color was. Even my current spouse, I've never cared. I know, but I've never is it top knowledge for me to know that her favorite color is purple? No, but I know it. I've never connected with those sides of emotions. None of that stuff mattered to me. I need to know important information. Birthday.
What size are your titties?
With that pom pom hit on.
waist size.
What that mouth do?
Are we financially, stable? Like those type of things is what I've always connected with. I've never
connected. You understand that, like, not knowing your spouse's favorite color and living with a motherfucker is destructive.
I would say I know her favorite color, but I've never connected or cared enough to know that side. So I'll give an example. Like my ex-wife. I mean, for a lot of the part, especially like I would say maybe the last Darius, maybe year and a half time frame when he was born. Like a lot of the shit was just passing by. Like legit, just I'm in the house, you in the house, boom, we moving. Like I didn't give a fuck about what your favorite color was. I didn't give a fuck about anything new. I just needed to know normal shit. Like, are you gonna be at home?
That is normal shit, though. That's what I'm trying to say.
Me, normal shit. Like, I don't give a fuck about your personal, like your favorite color. I don't really give a fuck about what dream you had last night. I'm gonna listen to it, but does that mean I really give a fuck? No, but I'm listening.
No, I say the same thing. I didn't know. I still to this day don't know what my ex-husband's favorite color was. I can't. And I was with him for 5 years, married for a year. I can't tell you what his favorite color, his shoe size. I can't tell you shit. But that type of stuff is important to me. So if you asking another half of that, I got an issue with it.
And I can understand that. Just looking from other people's viewpoints and even yours when the conversations we have, I can understand. Mm-hmm. I didn't initially because I can never connect with it. I thought asking a nigga their shoe size because I'm a shoe dude, and this was an actual issue that me and my wife had before. I like shoes, so if I would be like, "Hey, Britt, is Christmas coming along? I'm gonna buy Chae some shoes for Christmas," and my wife would look at me like I just said the most fucking asinine, most incriminating shit in the world.
I'm gonna defend myself on that because I don't want people to think I'm just crazy in these streets. Okay?
Yeah, Brittany, you have to answer to that
Well,
one.
no, but
okay,
I can answer for you. Let me finish.
Okay.
Shoes is something that's very special to me and her. No, me and her. So when we buy each other's shoes, because that was one of the very first things. Like she bought me a pair of Timbs before. I bought her a pair of shoes before, and it was something that we connected with on our level. So to her, buying shoes for another woman that ain't my kids or anybody like that is a sign of giving our emotional connection away. Now, I never understood that shit because I was a shoe dude. I just buy shoes because that's a gift to get people. But now that I know, I ask before I even buy my cousin shoes, hey, is it okay if we go and like it's her birthday, if we go do this? Like,
he did that last year. We bought a pair of shoes.
This reminds me of something that I'm sort of traversing through right now. Is that this is something I find a lot in monogamy, and not that it's not in non-monogamy, but like this, I struggle with feeling like things that are intimate to me only have to be intimate to me and my partner, because I like to love on my friends. Not exactly in the same way. It's never going to be exactly in the same way. But like, I mean, me and Brittany had a conversation about this. We say, if you look in our text messages, something, not recently, because we've both been busy as hell, but you'll see a whole bunch of baby kind of thing or whatever. It don't mean nothing other than she is somebody who is important to me, as somebody I love. It's not a sign of I'm in a romantic relationship with her, and I think that people struggle with those types of things. And I am in a place where I'm not talking to Yami about like, okay, what things are going to be reserved for just you and I, and you also got to be used to me just doing this with people, period, because that's what I am.
I feel like that's communication. So when we first got together, when me and Richard first got together, there was a list of people that we were like, hey, look, they're going to be here. I didn't have a lot of female friends. I roll with dudes all the time. He had a lot of female friends that he met through the military, stuff like that. One in particular, she, her wife is my best friend and that's his best friend. And, he tell her, hey, I love you, you know, I miss you, stuff like that. It don't bother me. That type of stuff does not bother me because that was communicated within our foundation. When we were building our foundation, she was brought into it because I knew what it was. We talked about it. We did everything. I told him, hey, look, I do have an ex-boyfriend. Me and him are cool as I don't know what. He will be in my life because me and him didn't break up on anything else. There's other things that also help, you know, me be able to keep him around. But, you know, these people were communicated. I feel like if you come to me and you communicate, it's one thing. The moment it becomes a secret, the moment that you can't talk to this person around me, now I got an issue.
Got you.
I mean, I agree. Like, and I think that kind of also like segues into a whole separate conversation that we don't have to get into, but like, you know, like having friends of the opposite sex.
Yeah, that's
if you're able to have friendships.
That's gonna be a whole nother hour.
Right, I know, right? But I do kind of, unless anyone else has another wrap-up question, but I do want to wrap up on a question. How do you, specifically Rich, but obviously everyone's opinion matters, but how do you feel about the Black Men Don't Cheat movement? Because it's a movement.
Okay, I would have to say, I literally thought it started out as a joke. Dead ass.
I take it as a joke.
I thought it literally was just making a joke out of it, but because Black men needed something to hold, to hang their hats on, they just keep it around like that. But I would literally hope most people believe that this shit is like not literal, because clearly men and humans cheat on one another. So it's not fair to say Black men don't cheat when clearly we have a whole, I can point out any
generation
of men that literally cheat. Like we can watch, literally turn on the TV and you will find a Black man that has cheated in some way. It is rooted in our hip hop culture. They literally tell you to do it. So it obviously, I would hope most people think that it's a joke. But for the Black men that don't, Black men don't cheat.
I mean, I would say, you know, I also think it was rooted in a joke as well. But I think that this message behind it, or the message that should be taken from it moving forward with generations, is, you know, to be committed to your family, to be committed to the person or people that you've made that commitment with. And like, we've had enough shit as a people that have torn our families apart, that we shouldn't be tearing our families apart. And I think that like should be the overarching kind of message you take from that, whether it's a joke or it's just Charlemagne out here throwing it out there every time a story comes up. But I think that should be the overarching message taken, not just Black men, but Black women as well. But it should be the message taken from that and applied.
I agree with Britt on that one. I also look at it as a joke at first, just something to say. However, the actual message is the men who aren't listening to the music that's saying cheat, the men who are able to say, okay, I'm not this little boy who my family was telling me to find all the bitches and fuck them all. You know, they're able to say, look, I got a family, I got a wife, they love me. I need to keep this family and only one family right now. And, you know, keep it in my pants or keep whatever it is at home. That's how I look at it.
I mean, I just will be echoing y'all sentiments. Straight up as a joke. Like it's a satirical thing to say when somebody is getting outed for cheating, right? I stand with Shaq because Black men don't cheat. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever, as the story is fucking coming out that he's a fucking cheater. You know what I'm saying? But I do think that, like y'all said, it's important. The message behind it should be that you preserve your core, right? Because here's the thing. A lot of men don't walk away from divorce very well. The women walk away from it. General, like, not to say that there's no putting yourself back together. You said what?
I said women walk away from it richer.
Yeah, I mean, generally richer, and not only that, like, because we tend to leave a relationship long before it's ended, have grieved, we saw it coming, and all of the stuff generally, more often than not. That's not to speak to people some women who got divorced out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Because that happens as well, out of nowhere. Yeah, I just think of it more as a joke, and you should as a man. When they say Kevin Samuels used to tell women all the time they was going to die alone, but by large, men die alone, even when they have families. It's generally their wives that's next to them, if they still fucking with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they are, it's men who are dying alone more often than women, is my point. So I think it's important that y'all figure y'all shit out, man. like stop leading with your dick. It is just not.
Studies show that women cheat more. They just don't get caught as much.
They also cause.
The hell the study shows we don't get caught. You can't tell me
because women they'll
anonymously
will admit to it. And so as long as they don't say, yeah, my name is Sierra and I cheat, they will say, well, yeah, I cheat. And women will say, oh yeah, my girl cheat. I watched her cheat with him. Oh yeah. Brittany just said at the start of the show, birds of a feather.
So yeah, that's what so what I was about to say. Also to add to that is that's just a fact. We are generally better. This is why I said
there's no statistics, there's nothing.
People gonna be people. People are going to cheat. That is just people say, oh, cheating not normal. Yes, the fuck it is. Look around. I think that generally we just have a problem accepting that men do it for whatever reason while women do it. Or how easy it seems like
now. I think now it's talked about more than when it was back in the day when Papa was rolling and he was doing everything. He had a house here, house there. As a wife, you might know about it, but you didn't mention it. You didn't say nothing about it. However, now everybody is just like a woman wearing a wig. We free with the shit. We all gotta know. You put it on social media. You put it, your dude sitting right beside you. Oh, I just cheated on my girl. I just cheated on my man. It's something that we are open about now.
Yeah.
But I do feel like a lot of people ain't down for it anymore.
Mm-hmm. I also feel like, and in the same vein that they're not down for it, I think a lot of people taking a stance that no, I want somebody who's faithful or whatever, and then a lot of people are going, actually, let's just open the fucking relationship.
Yeah. I mean, the Gen Zers and basically the belief in marriage as a whole, people aren't behind the whole movement. Yeah. So I mean, I think there has been a surge in just you hearing about polyamorous and polygamy situations in the last few years, because that's the mindset of younger millennials and beyond.
I mean, I'm also talking about people our age are acknowledging that. I think that the younger people are more boisterous about it, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why I always say non-monogamy, right, versus poly and all of that, is because non-monogamy also just means we have an open relationship. We swing, right? That's part of it. Like that is all of that. It's no more.
Every once in a while.
You said what?
We bring someone else in every once in a while.
If you have a threesome, it's no more monogamy, bro. It's just you can classify it as that, but definitionally or technically, it's just not. And I think more people are being open to exploring
some version
with their partner, however they choose to do that. And I think it's beautiful. I think if that's what you need to stay together, y'all need to fuck a bitch every 60 days or something like that.
But I'd rather you say that, like, hey, look, I want to be married to you. I want to be with you, but I got to have a bitch on the side. Or, we can bring a bitch in. Or, hey, both of us can get hall passes
once a year.
Something like that. Let's put that in the foundation. That way you're not out here and you just do it and then we over here arguing and pissed off. At least that if somebody say, hey, I just seen your dude with another girl, I already knew. It's not like it's a slap in the face. Now
tell
again,
me nothing.
right. And now I do feel like you, hey, don't have a calling, don't have, keep that over there, but put it in the foundation where we are not mad at each other because you talking to somebody, I'm talking to somebody. Ask, and it might be given to you. You might hear, yeah, let's do that.
Mm-hmm. But and we can wrap. A lot of times the problem is I want to do this, but I don't want you to do this.
Yes, that is a big thing. You can. It's cool when they do it. When I do it. Yeah, that's the thing. Like you can't. Everybody's not allowed to do the same thing in a relationship, but I feel like you should let that. If you can do it, I can do it.
Mm-hmm. Or whatever version of compromise y'all come up with, but it's a conversation. It's transparency.
Yes. You have to be transparent.
That's what people talk about, or when they're like, what makes your relationship work or your marriage work? It's communication, and when they say relationships are work, that's the work. It's the communicating, it's the transparency, it's the being on the same page and constantly working towards that. Yeah. Rich, did you have anything you wanted to throw in? You look frozen.
Nah, y'all pretty much do. I know my internet is being wonky. Nah, y'all pretty much hit everything the way, everything else just segues into another hour-long conversation.
I know, right?
Right. It's just so much from this one conversation, and it was good.
Yeah, there's so much to pick from that it would just literally lead into another hour-long conversation.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna cut it here because we already have hour in.
Cut it here. But next week, I might edit it. We'll see. I'll edit this part. Next week we'll be talking a bit more about marriage. All month we've been talking about relationship situations. So we will be doing a marriage part 2 from a couple months ago, but in this one we will be talking specifically about the for better or worse part of your vows. How do you get through the shittier, tougher times so that you guys can enjoy the for better part?
I might not have an emoji girlfriend this time. So
you said an emoji girlfriend? Yeah, you might have a real one.
Actual girlfriend.
The stick figure next to you.
Yeah.
Richard, you gonna have an invisible woman?
Right.
No, he wants to come down here.
Don't talk about that.
Oh, we can't talk about the invisible one? Okay.
Don't talk about that. That's
well, guys, make sure you check us out on all social media platforms. Make sure you check us out on YouTube. You can catch our newest episodes of Keeping It Real. They will be posted soon. What was the last thing we did?
They cloned Tyrone and Barbie.
Yeah. So we did. They cloned Tyrone and Barbie.
They're up already.
They are up, but I don't have any way. There's no linkage to it be your own self.
Yeah.
Well, we're coming up with our own YouTube.
Yes. That's the announcement.
To put all the stuff. Yeah. So look out for all of that. We will be reviewing Twisted Metal soon. Super fucking good if you haven't seen it already. In the Trap House, you can catch the guys on Saturdays. And until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay unapologetically black. Have a good night.